Hi everyone, it's Ruby and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a GCSE results / back to school Q&A video. For a while, I've been kind of debating whether or not I wanted to tell you guys and put online what I got for my GCSEs, just because I know that it is easily hated on, and that's all I'm going to really say, because whenever people really put their GCSE results on, it's easily judged. I was kind of going back and forth thinking, do I really want that out in public or do I want to keep it to myself? But also I have been getting loads of questions asking what I did get for my GCSEs. That was not English. But also I have been getting loads of questions asking what I did get for my GCSEs, and I feel like because literally most of my videos last year were really revolved around GCSE revision and all of the school related things and kind of the build up towards them, I feel like it's kind of just something that I put out on the internet, so it's fair to tell you guys what I got as the end result. I'm also really proud of what I got, so I don't know why I wouldn't let you guys in on it. But also I thought I'd include, because it's school related, catch up on how school is at the moment, because obviously I'm now in sixth form. I've been there for a couple of weeks now, and obviously school's really different, and I wanted to answer any kind of questions you guys wanted to ask me in this video. This morning I put up a story. I literally searched through my whole camera roll to try and find a photo to put as the background, but I literally couldn't find a photo, so I just did my room as the background, and I said back to school questions for a sixth form update video. I haven't looked at the questions yet. Ooh, there's a lot of questions. Okay, this is good. Main question, what did you get on your GCSEs? I was like very random with my abilities and capabilities. There'd be some subjects which I just was reaching for a pass and I worked incredibly hard to pass, and there were some subjects that I worked the same amount to get a high mark. It just kind of varied for me. The subjects I really struggled with throughout my whole secondary school was science and maths. Them two, I was honestly the whole way through really stressed that I was going to fail. I had no confidence in it until probably by like the end of year 11. So for me personally, just passing was like a huge achievement for me. So in maths I ended up getting a 4, which I was absolutely so happy about, because I had never ever passed a maths test in my life. I did foundation. I struggled with it so much. I was so stressed I was going to fail. I was honestly ready to open up that results paper and it's saying you, but I got a 4. I was so happy, my teacher was so happy, and it was just the best feeling ever because I worked so hard to pass. So I passed maths, and you may be thinking, I feel like a lot of people will look at this and think, oh, you didn't do that well, it's just a 4, it's not a high grade. But for me that is like crazy, because I worked probably just as hard as someone else did to get a really high mark in maths, and it's kind of, that's what really annoys me when people say their results and they get hate on it, because like someone could work just as hard as another person just to pass when someone else is working to get like an 8 or a 9. So let's just eliminate that. So yeah, that's what I got in maths. I ended up passing, and kind of the whole week of year 11 I was on edge about maths, so I was so happy to find out I passed it. Now science. Now this was the one. Me and science did not get on. That's the only way I can say it, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. I don't know why, I just did not, the content just did not fit with my brain. It's just not my sort of subject. Like I'm way more into like drama and arts and creative things, so for me that was a real struggle to understand the papers. I didn't take separate, I actually ended up taking foundation. I got told this very close to my exam, so I was really stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was taking higher, now I'm taking foundation, so that was very anxiety inducing for me. But I ended up getting 4.4, which I was absolutely in shock about. I was so convinced I was not going to pass, but I did, and I actually got asked right after I opened it to get that remarked, because I think I was like a couple marks of 5.4, which when the teacher called me over and was like, hi, can we talk to you about getting something remarked? I was like, okay, what is this going to be then? Like English, maybe history? And it was like science, and I was laughing. I was like, what? Like I'm close to a 5. I've never even like been able to pass in these papers, and now you're saying I could get a 5.4. So that's getting remarked. I haven't got it back yet what I got, but either way I honestly don't mind. Like I am so proud of myself for passing maths and science. I never thought I could do that, so for me that was an achievement in itself. When I opened the results I went straight to maths and science and I saw it and I was like, okay, so they're kind of the ones that I struggled with, but from that you can probably get the gist that I did pass everything. I probably should have started off with that, but I did pass everything, which I'm so happy about. So obviously, as you probably would know, I got the grades to go to my sixth form, which was great. I was very happy. Now moving on to English. So for me, in year 10, I honestly did not put enough effort into English. I remember doing, I think it's like a mock test in year 10 and I got 3, 4. Obviously I passed a bit, but I did not try, and I was really anxious about it because I did not think I was going to do well in English, which really upset me because all through the school years from primary to secondary I always loved English. I was always an English person, not a maths person. I was always English like bound, and for me to not do well, I was really upset. Year 11, I got a new teacher and she was brilliant. She's literally the reason I did well, and I worked really, really hard in English and I ended up getting 6.6. That was just crazy to me that I went from 3s and 4s to 6s, and in class time I was getting 7s as well. So I was like, crazy. Yeah, so I got 6.6 in English Lit and English Lang. Again, them two are getting remarked because my teacher came up to me and she said that I think it was like 1 or 2 marks away from 7 in both. So I've got English Lit gone off to get remarked because that's the one that I was working towards a 7 in. English language 6 was amazing for me, so we'll see what I get in that, but honestly I'm so proud of myself for that. But I thought I did really well in English because I really went up so many grades in such like a short period of time. It was amazing. So they're kind of the core subjects. Now moving on to my options. So I picked history, drama, music and art. So to start with, let's go for history. History for me, I ended up actually finding the most difficult exams. I found the history exams more difficult to do than science or maths, which I was really shocked about. But honestly, the history exams, I think a lot of people will tell you this year were very, very difficult. So I was really anxious coming out of them. I tried really hard in them, but for me, like, there was just so much content in history and I knew that I wasn't going to get a high grade, but I just wanted to feel secure in the fact that I did as well as I could. And I ended up getting a 5, which I was very happy about because my target was a 6. And in past tests coming onto the exams, because I was dealing with so many subjects, my grade was going down in history because I found other subjects more important to focus on, and I was getting 4s. So to get a 5 in the all-in-all exam, which was honestly very hard, I wasn't confident in any of the exams I took for history. I was very happy about, I did not expect that. So I was very happy in that grade. And obviously it's a very strong pass as well, which I was like, oh, okay. You must have written something right in that paper, even though I was blabbering on about stuff. Now moving on to music. So for music, in the practical, I was always really strong in. I think my practical, I was at an 8, a grade 8. And then the theory was always my downfall. Honestly, like, I was so nervous because with theory, I just did not understand it with music. And I had to work really hard a couple weeks before the exam to kind of solidify all the different subjects in it. So I was really scared that that was going to drop my grade down because I really wanted to do well in music because obviously I wanted to go on to do it in sixth form. I actually ended up getting a 7, which I was really happy about because everyone I was talking to about the exam had actually dropped down a grade because the music theory exam was really difficult. So I was not sad about that because everyone else was going through that. It wasn't just me. But I was actually really happy on a 7 because obviously it's an A, so it's so good. And honestly, I didn't think I could do that well, like combining theory with practical. So I was really proud of myself with that. Then drama. So for drama, obviously that is my subject. Like, it's one that I want to hopefully pursue in the future as a career. Not sure yet, but right now, like, I'm very interested in drama, so I really wanted to do well in it. Also just because, like, for me, like, I originally took drama as like a confidence thing really because I wanted to build up my confidence, so I wanted to get that good grade just to make sure I was like, okay, I can do this, like, I'm actually good at it. And the practical, again, I was really good at, but the theory I kind of was not confident on. So I went into the exam and I actually was really happy with all the questions. They were really nice, and I ended up coming out of it with a grade 8, which I was beyond happy about because I'd never got more than 6, I think, and my target in year 10 was a 5, so I'd gone up 3 grades, not 4 grades, which was mental to me. I was so happy and my teachers were so happy, and that was just so good. I was so happy about that. Now finally moving on to art. Now for art, obviously, like, my whole family is very art related, so I wanted to do well in it. Also, my sister got a 9 for her GCSE art. She got full marks and I was kind of stressed because I really wanted to kind of live up to that, but I ended up getting a 9 and I was beyond happy. I was like, oh my gosh. I think that was really my, like, final piece in year 11, the exam, that really brought that, because I think I would have got like a 7 if that wasn't so thought through, because the rest of my coursework was good, but it definitely was not a 9. So I think that really tipped it over the edge, and I was so happy because that's the only 9 I got. And I told myself the whole of my, like, GCSE time I was revising, I just wanted to get 1 9, and I knew that the only one I could properly solidify that in was art. So I am so happy that I'm coming out of it with a 9 in my GCSE grade. So those are my GCSE results. I am so happy. I'm actually really glad I told this on camera because I am so proud of how I did in my GCSEs. I worked so hard to get these grades, and I'm so proud that I passed everything, and I hope that anyone else who did their GCSEs is happy in their grades. Anyways, I feel like that lasted really long. That's only one question I've just answered. 11. Make a wish. So that was kind of a deep chat into the GCSE results. I knew that if I was going to tell you guys them, I wanted to kind of give the backstory on each of the subjects as well. Now moving on to some more questions. Now that was kind of the main question of the video. Now I'm moving on to just little ones, which kind of like catch-up ones. What A levels did you choose? For me, I chose all of my courses I'm doing are actually BTECs, and the reason I did that is because number one, the school I went to, all of the creative subjects were kind of based on BTECs, and also I really struggle with exam conditions, so the fact that the BTECs are more course related and practical related just screamed my name, to be honest. But there is a lot of coursework. Like, I think people think with BTECs it's less work, but it's definitely not. Like, coming into the first week I already had so much work to do, and it is a lot of theory related as well. So I originally chose music, performing arts and dance, and I was so happy with my subjects, but going into the first couple of weeks of school, music and performing arts actually clashed when you choose your blocks. Obviously you have to choose them from 3 different blocks for your A levels, and performing arts and music clash, which meant that the timetable would not work in a way, but they let me do it anyways because I asked. So going into them, I actually had music and performing arts at the same time on some days, so I was missing content and I was like getting behind, but also like some lessons I would be in and it would just make no sense. Like, I was missing stuff and it was really too stressful to continue doing that, but obviously they couldn't change the timetables for other people, so I had to drop music, which I was really sad about. But for me, I found performing arts and dance more important, just because with music I honestly prefer like practical things, and I don't like the theory as much as I do with the other subjects, so for me it's not as much of a loss. But I am a bit sad because I don't have any qualifications in it now, but it doesn't mean that I won't continue doing music. So instead I decided on taking double performing arts and dance, which honestly I'm already loving. Like, I love my drama class, I love my teachers, and it just means that I have more performing arts and drama, which honestly I'm in my element, and dance I'm loving. I just love my subjects, so honestly it worked out. How to revise and deal with stress and piles of work and homework. Piles of work and homework I can relate to, because now that I've got to sixth form, you are set, well at least I am, I'm set a lot more work a lot more frequently, because I have coursework to do which is due on certain dates, which usually you don't have a lot of time to do, and then I've also got homework on top of that. So for me it's about a little bit at a time. That's how I would deal with piles of homework. When I came into it, I knew the amount of work that I'd have to do. They already like prepped me and said you don't want to get behind, so I would try and do homework first, and I would try and do a little bit at a time, and balancing your time is really, really important. And if you're doing sixth form and you have frees, use them, because honestly they're going to be so helpful. What I've done is I've kind of got on top of my work by doing it like a week before it's due, so then I'm kind of in front in a way. That's the only way I can really explain it. Like, if you don't want to deal with piles of homework, then kind of do a little bit at a time, and then by the point that it is, you won't have just like spent a whole like day doing it, but you'll have done a little bit each day, so it won't take over your life, but you'll kind of be on top of it. Revising, I would make a timetable. That's what I did with my GCSEs. I made a timetable and stuck to it each day, and made sure I included things like seeing people, having breaks, you know, like having time to yourself as well as being able to revise, because you don't want to burden yourself with too much that's going to make you hate it. You do want to make sure you have a structured amount of time that you're doing it for, else you're just gonna not be able to commit to it. What kind of outfits have you been wearing to sixth form? I love that. So obviously with my sixth form, we don't have a uniform, so I honestly was really stressed about like wearing normal clothes. I didn't know what to wear. I didn't know what was appropriate and what was not appropriate, but honestly, because I was taking dance, I've had to wear just like full black most days. I've literally been leggings and a jumper, and you're gonna think that's so boring, but I'm not really complaining because it's so comfy, and with this weather it's fine. In summer I'm gonna be sweating. I've literally just been in all black, but on the days where I don't have dance, I've tended to be wearing like knitted jumpers and some flares or joggers and some like jumpers. Pretty like basic, but also kind of cute. Very autumny. What is different from last year? A lot is different. Whether you're going to college or sixth form, it's completely different from normal school. You have frees, which is a lot different because you don't have, like, every day is kind of different, and it's probably a bit less full on in the daytime, just because you sometimes will have frees, and also in general the classes, at least for me I can say, are a lot more chilled. The teachers aren't as stressed because obviously they don't have a big class, and they just kind of enjoy teaching you more than get stressed about it, which they do with other years. You're definitely treated differently by teachers. They like teaching you instead of don't like it, and you're just treated as you're just treated as more mature in general, and I really like it because I feel more like independent and just more like you're wanted to be there. I feel like in the younger years it's more just like the teachers just have to do it, but now they kind of enjoy it. Have you made new friends? I actually was so scared about making friends because honestly, like, I've obviously been at the same school, secondary school, for like the whole of the time, like, what is it, 7, 8, 5 years, so I haven't had to like meet new people. It's just been like normalized to just see the same people for 5 years. So making new friends I haven't done in a while, but I actually ended up making really nice friends. Literally my whole drama class is so nice, so yeah, it's actually worked out really well for me. Do you have uniform? No, mine doesn't, but I know other schools do. Obviously in the younger years you do, but not in sixth form. College/university plans. I always plan on going to university. For me, it's just about these next 2 years figuring out what I kind of want to do as a career. I like deliberately chose these subjects because I know that I'm really interested in them, but I'm not sure what I want to do with them yet. So I'm hoping within the next couple of years I'll be able to know. And if not, I'll probably do a foundation course and then go to uni, but I definitely do want to do uni. Are you finding the workload stressful? At first I was, but the thing is, I feel like it would be a bit different if I had really mean teachers, but my teachers are quite nice. So if I go to them saying, hi, like I'm really stressed about workload, I haven't done that yet because I'm making sure I stay on top of it. So it's a bit less stressful when you do that. But I think that they'd be more like helpful than angry at you, which is why I think it's a bit less stressful for me. So I'm quite lucky in that way. Do you still get homework? Yes, I do get homework. I would say it's a bit nicer homework because I think that the teachers are aware of the amount of coursework you have, or at least it is nicer at the moment. I don't know how it will be in a couple weeks time, but I still get homework very frequently. Sometimes the homework will be to do the coursework, sometimes it will be extra stuff, but yeah, I do get homework, but I think it's a bit more controlled than it was last year, which was obviously you had like so many subjects at the same time. It was a lot to do. How hard is it compared to GCSE? Obviously I'm new to sixth form, so I can't say like fully yet how much harder it is because I obviously haven't even got to year 13 yet, which is probably going to be a lot. I think so far the hardest part of it is being more independent and in control of your own work, because obviously now you're older, you're less like hovered over. You kind of have to take on the work instead of the teachers taking it on for you and with you. Obviously they'll help you, but you're a lot more independent. I think it's hard to adapt to at first, but I actually prefer it because I like being in control of my own work. Did you pick A-level or BTEC? What do you think you want to do in the future? Obviously I picked BTEC, and in the future with my drama course I'm doing, it's very musical theatre related, which if you asked me a couple years ago I would have said no, I don't like theatre, I don't like musical theatre, I've never been into it. But now I'm actually really growing to like it, so maybe something in musical theatre, maybe something in dance, or just acting. I'm not sure yet, but obviously subjects I'm taking, they're very closely related in career path. Hopefully I'll figure that out soon and I'll let you know. Are you doing revision? So right now I don't have to do revision because my course is a bit different. It's more like coursework and practical, and then when it gets closer to exams, which is obviously year 13, then you do more of the revision to it. But right now it's more just coursework and homework related for me. I think it's a bit different with BTEC. How long are your breaks in sixth form? So for my sixth form you have 30-minute and then 30-minute breaks, which obviously add up to an hour. But if I have frees, which I do at least have like one free most days, then obviously I'll have that, which I'll take as a break as well, but I'll be doing work in it, but it's a lot more chill. Like structured breaks, we have 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes for lunch, which I think is like, it's okay. I think I'd prefer if it was 20 minutes 40, but for me, because most days I have frees anyways, it doesn't really bother me. Finally, do you prefer school? Now that I'm in sixth form, I definitely prefer school. I just think it's so much nicer. Just like everyone's a lot more nicer and matured, and you're actually taking subjects you enjoy and like you choose them, and it just feels like the teachers like having you there, and it's a lot nicer than it was definitely in the structured like other years. I definitely prefer it, so I'm very happy with it at the moment, and I hope anyone else who's gone to college or sixth form is enjoying it at the moment as well. So that is all the questions I'm going to be answering today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and kind of got to understand how my school is going at the moment and my GCSE results as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any other video recommendations, maybe about school or anything else in general, make sure to let me know in the comments, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
Enchanté.